Hello, my name is Mark Clements, and I am one of the administrators with the campaign to end the death penalty. At this present time, we are in mobilization for a chapter of the campaign to end the death penalty to be started in the Mississippi area. It is a shame that men and women have been placed on death row for very, very, very questionable situations as opposed to their guilt or innocence. It is also barbaric that these people find themselves on death row in the first place. We all know that the death penalty is racist and that there are reforms that must be made within our criminal justice system. Michelle is on the line, and Michelle has something to say about just the flaws and the corruption of the criminal justice system in Mississippi.
Well, thank you, Mark. We are really looking to get the citizens of Mississippi together, as many are fully aware. We've had biased juries, prosecutor misconduct, and undoubtedly we have innocent men and women on death row. Despite the fact that regardless of their innocence or guilt, they are being treated more than what is dictated by, worse than what is dictated by law. And there is no means. You continuously are creating more victims. You have cases with so much question. Our system has too many errors to impose an ultimate punishment. You have cases like Jeffrey Havard. You have cases Frederick Bell, Joseph Brown. They go up Justin Underwood. Questionable cases where innocence is really a huge probability in them cases, and not to mention there's probably a few more. With the National Coalition coming in, this will give the families strength. You will have a national organization behind you. You don't have to fear, there's strength in numbers. Together we can accomplish so much. United we stand, divided we fall. I'm pleading with the citizens and the families to get involved in putting an end to this barbaric system. I mean, it is corrupted at every level.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
What are some of the men and women that are on death row? What are some of their names?
We have, again, Ricky Chase, Joseph Brown, Frederick Bell, Quintez Hodges, Caleb Carruthers, Joseph Golf, Howard Gordon,
Okay.
Roger Lee Jillett. I mean, we have a total of 49 on death row in Mississippi. We have two women, Michelle Byram and Lisa Joe.
Now,
I believe that several of, there is possibilities of rehabilitation. In the past, we've had Warden Cabana speak out and said himself, after years spent on the road, you are no longer executing the same man who entered the system years before. They are left in solitary confinement 23 hours a day, 5 days a week. No air conditioning, cells that reach 110 degrees or more, with a 7-inch fan to give relief.
right, and no air condition, so it's just stirring hot air inside of the prison. Now, I understand that some of the inmates were moved from one cell block to the next, and as a result, many of them were given mattresses that were basically stained. Many of them had bugs in them, and the inmates was treated very cruel because they felt that they should have been treated more better. I recall them complaining about no heat, the water system being just the water tastes different to them. They claim that it was contaminated. What are the prison conditions in Mississippi like?
Well, first off, when that move took place, many of the men did not even have sheets or blankets. And the heat did go out. It took several calls to get the heat on, to get something fixed so that guys could have some comfort. I mean, this is December 30th. It was cool. Granted it's the summer, but you're in cement walls. It got cold. Men were using coats for comfort. They have a cesspool that's out there that attracts quite a bit of insects. They come through and they spray for insect control, but in the meantime, when they're doing so, the men can't breathe because there's no proper air ventilation.
Yes. Now,
and I frequently tell the guys, please keep your windows open, stay by the window, because there's no air ventilation, and I'm sure that those chemicals are toxic.
Yes. Now, communicating with inmates like Fred Bell, I learned that the state of Mississippi have a policy that is connected with this prison that if someone sends more than 2 pages long of any material that have come off of the internet, the letter is rejected and sent back to the sender. This totally makes no common sense. What if it was a court case that could help these guys? Or what if it was a news article that was informational about a particular inmate's case? This means that they would not be allowed to access this material, which I feel is it serves as a way to keep them in prison. If they can't get the necessary tools and materials that they need to prove their innocence, something is wrong with that picture. In the state of Alabama, inmates are entitled to 1 appeal with an attorney, and if they can no longer afford an attorney with additional appeals, they are not giving an attorney to help them if they are poor. To me, this kind of it makes it possible for individuals to be executed. It makes it possible for the mentally handicapped prisoners to not receive the justice that maybe they are entitled to. It just keeps the problem occurring much more longer than what it really needs to occur in their situations. I'm for abolition of the death penalty on all levels. Killing someone has never served as a deterrent against crime, and by it never serving as a deterrent against crime, I can only look and view this as a way to just legally lynch people or some type of revenge killings that takes place here on these death rows. And that's what we need to stop. We need to get the churches in Mississippi involved with fighting against the criminal justice system. And I'll say it again. We need to get the churches in Mississippi involved with fighting against the corrupt injustices in the Mississippi area. And Michelle, can you explain to us basically what is one of the most outrageous cases that you have come across in the Mississippi area?
Wow. There's so many crazy stories there. You have the Frederick Bell case is unbelievable. You have a man his jury was all black. One of the victim's relatives served on that jury. Loss of evidence to be DNA tested. which is very normal. Mississippi poorly stores it, or it's lost. Another significant case would be the Joseph Brown case, where the defendant, or the co-defendant, which obviously committed the crime, was the only witness against him, and she had a relationship with the investigators. You know, and you have the Jeffrey Hayward case, which is unbelievable, because the medical examiner that was used in that case was not properly licensed to have that position, and stated that this infant child had been assaulted and killed, when in fact another pathologist looked at the case and saw that this was not what happened. You have innocent men sitting there in unbelievable conditions that if it was an animal rights groups would be stomping down them gates. But we allow these men to be treated in this manner.
You're right. And, you know, just thinking in the state of California, there is a young man on death row by the name of Kevin Cooper. In Texas, there is a young man on death row, Rodney Reed. And just all over the globe, there are so many questionable convictions of men that are on death row. We are a nation of people that claim to believe in innocence. The only way that it could really come out that someone on death row is innocent, that's by not killing them. I do not support the death penalty, nor do I support natural life without parole. I believe that our criminal justice system should be a system of reform, should be a system that rehabilitate and teach men and women basically better standards and morals upon their release. Unfortunately, we have a system that do not have a clue how to rehabilitate. And as a result of them not having a clue, their way of rehabilitation is locking men and women inside of their prison cells, some of them for much as 23 hours a day, providing them with no educational training. They are systematically warehoused inside of the prison system. We need to change that outlook. We need to change how Mississippi has done things in the past, and to at least give the brothers and sisters on death row an opportunity to have a voice and an outlet out here in society. Right now, they have none. And they have none. Basically, to say that they don't have none would be to take the credit away from people like yourself, and that's not true. The most favorable word would be is that the people of Mississippi have not gotten up, and as a result, there are many people that are scattered around this country that are involved with Mississippi issues. They don't live in Mississippi, but they are more concerned about the Mississippi inmates than the residents themselves. And the resident themselves, they are quick to let you know that someone was wrongfully convicted, but when it comes to mobilization, that's something where they have fallen short at. I want them to know is that we want to build a family. We want to build encouragement in you. There is a leader in you, Mississippi, mother that is suffering because your child is on death row. There is a leader in you. I want the people behind the prison walls in Mississippi to know that there are leaders in them. I remember when the Death Row 10 started as a result of corruption within the Chicago Police Department under John Burge. They worked in shifts. The inmates came together and they worked in shifts to make sure that all the material that they were sending out would be sent out and to the politicians, and they really became to be the leaders that eventually freed some of them from prison. And I want them, the brothers and sisters in Mississippi, to know that we want to fight for you, but your best leader is yourself. And in closing, Michelle, what are some final comments that you would like to say?
Well, the system is just full of legal vengeance. All we have successfully done, or all the state of Mississippi has successfully done, is create more victims. We need to stand united. United, we can do something. You know, one voice can be overheard, but the voices of many can't. There is strength in numbers.
Yes, I totally agree. There is strength in numbers. And once again, Mississippi residents, the Campaign to End the Death Penalty wants to mobilize with you in starting a chapter of the Campaign to End the Death Penalty. I'm asking you, I'm appealing to you. I'm asking you, first of all, to please don't be discouraged. The system wants you to be discouraged. Don't operate in fear. Many of you go to church, and in going to church, you're told that you walk not by fear. So if you're walking not by fear, forget what man can do to you and fear what God can do to you. Stand up against injustice. Stand up against the wrongs of this world. Leaders are in you. You clearly know what the problems are in Mississippi. And clearly knowing what the problems are, you clearly know how to correct these problems. The power is in your hands. Politicians are not as strong as the people. The problem is the people must mobilize together, get up together, and fight together, lay these racial barriers to the side, and understand that the enemy wants you separated and divided. Because as Michelle has stated, there is power in numbers. And if you in the Mississippi area, you are interested in starting and participating in this chapter of the Campaign to End the Death Penalty, please give me a call. You can contact Mark Clements at 847-276-1382. Or I'm pretty sure Michelle will make herself available as well, and she can give out her information if she wishes. Michelle?
Yes, they can contact me by email at Miss Queenie, MSQUEENY123 I'm also available on Facebook, and I will return any and all messages. You can leave your phone number, and I will be surely back with you as soon as possible.
And thank you, Michelle, for participating in the conference call that we done earlier and participating in this promo that will run over YouTube as well as Facebook. To just let the people know that they are not alone. You are not alone. We do understand what's going on. And that is the reason why we are getting up and trying to get the people together to understand one thing. That if you fight, you already know what the issues are. And if you fight, eventually you will win. But if you do nothing, how can you win? Now is the time for you, the people, to get up, stand up, fight mobilize and to expose the racist criminal justice system in Mississippi.